everybody. It's time for another Frank White Friday. And as you may have guessed, there's only one topic to discuss today, and that's the two stars, Starliner and Starship. What a contrasting set of styles we saw recently when these two spacecraft launched. And I want to talk about them just for a little bit, see what you think. So Starliner did launch. That was the story. It really had been called recently Stayliner because it was really, really good at staying on the pad, but not very good at launching. And it was pretty flawless. It went well. The only issue has been that since it headed to the ISS, there have been more helium leaks, there have been thruster problems, and there have been some significant challenges so far. The astronauts are safely on the ISS now, and we don't have to worry about that. We, of course, want them to come home safely. That is still a next very big step. But the point is, after 10 years, lots of delays, going over budget, even though Starliner launched, I don't know that we can say it's a reliable workhorse for taking astronauts to the ISS. We do have a reliable workhorse, and that's Crew Dragon from SpaceX. They've been doing the job for quite a while now, but NASA wants a backup, and that makes sense. There should be a redundant spacecraft that can be put into service because as effective as Crew Dragon has been, there could always be a problem we can't predict. And then the next day, Starship launched, and it did very, very well. It was its fourth test flight. It did not go into orbit, but you kind of think it could have. And it came back and had a fiery but pretty much flawless splashdown in the ocean. And you look at that spacecraft, it's really kind of a monster, and you say it could do a lot for space flight in general. So there's also a contrast at the launch control sites. Boeing and United Launch Alliance, very professional, of course, very buttoned down. They got the job done. But afterward, I felt there's more like relief than anything else, just relief that we don't have to do this again or attempt this again. And it was completely different at SpaceX. It was like a rave with young people joyously leaping up and down as the spacecraft passed milestone after milestone. And you just get the feeling that's the future. It's not that spacecraft like Starliner and Artemis will not have some role to play, but realistically, what SpaceX has done is remarkable and impressive. And I I don't know that it's because they have better people. I think it's the system, the approach. I've talked about it before, and other people have as well. The large aerospace companies got very used to cost plus contracts where going over schedule just meant getting paid more. And now, if you have a fixed cost contract, going over the schedule or being late means you lose money. It's just that simple in my mind. And I'm not an expert on rocket science, but that's what it looks like to me. It's entrepreneurialism versus a much more slow moving and bureaucratic approach to the space environment. Either way, We should also note from a human spaceflight point of view, China once again pulled off a remarkable robotic mission to the moon, landing on the far side. And they're collecting samples they'll bring back. And just overall, we see humanity, forget the countries, forget the companies, humanity is going out and beginning to get comfortable with our next home, the solar ecosystem. So I'm looking forward to that, regardless of who builds the spacecraft or how well they perform at this point, because it's just the beginning. In the meantime, have a great weekend, and we'll talk again next week about space flight and large-scale space migration and favorite topics like that. Bye-bye.